So my dear students, so today we are going to start with these solutions which are ideal solution and non-ideal solution. So in the last session we completed up to the Henry's law and the vapor pressure molarity. So we completed up to that thing. So now we will see the what are the ideal solution, non-ideal solution, what is Raoult's law. Today we will understand all these things. So generally the solutions are actually two types. One is ideal solution, the another one is non-ideal solution. So ideal solution, so you know that ideal, it explains that, so it indicates that it is behaving as ideally, so it is perfectly, it is. So how it is perfectly, I will explain you. See here. So generally, by seeing the simple definition, you can easily understand the ideal solution. So it must behave as ideally. So you know that the ideal gas, so there is a small difference between this ideal gas and ideal solution. So if it is an ideal gas, so what happens in case of ideal gas? Ideal gas, so there is no force of attraction between the each molecule. The force of attraction between each molecule, that is very negligible. So that means there is no force of attraction in ideal gas. So hence it will give certain laws. So those are gas laws, which are Boyle's law, Charles law, and Avogadro's law. So those are the gas laws, so which must be followed by the ideal gas. Now here, in case of solution, it is an ideal solution. It must also follow one particular law, which is called Raoult's law. So this particular Raoult's law, it is nothing but, so I will explain you in this session the Raoult's law, but you have to understand this ideal solution. So ideal gas and ideal solution, both are somewhat similar here. So ideal gas is nothing but which follows Boyle's law, Charles law, Avogadro's law, those are the gas laws. But here, ideal solution, the solution which follows Raoult's law. So let us understand the Raoult's law. Raoult's law. So first, you need to understand the ideal solution. Ideal. So the ideal, it indicates it behave as a specific ideally. So what is ideally? That you can understand by understanding this Raoult's law. So let us start with this Raoult's law. So what is Raoult's law? So first, Raoult's law. Raoult's law. So let us understand this Raoult's law. So in the last session, I told you about the vapor pressure and mole fraction. So vapor pressure and mole fraction. So that is zeta. So now this Raoult's law is particularly, it will give the relation between vapor pressure and mole fraction. Vapor pressure and mole fraction. So that we will see by using a graph also. So see here. So let us take a solution. So I will take first a solution like this. So this is one solution, and I will take another solution. So this is particularly, this is A, 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 and this green color, this is B, 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 B. So two solutions are there, and finally you will get, when you are adding these two, you will get A and also B, and then again A and again B. So that the surface of the liquid surface which occupies both A and B. Now you need to understand here that, so this is a solution of A, which is a volatile liquid. So volatile, it indicates it must vaporize. So the vapor pressure produced here, so which is called P naught A. P naught A, because it is a pure vapor pressure, pure vapor pressure of A. Here A is there. A is a certain liquid which is a volatile liquid, which is it can easily vaporize. So it is forming a vapor pressure, that is P naught A. Why it is P naught here? Because it is a pure vapor pressure. There is no other B, C, whatever. There is no other liquids. Only A is there. So hence it is a pure vapor pressure, that is indicated with P naught A. And here also it is a closed container. and these are the vapors, and these vapors are nothing but P naught B. So here it is a pure vapor pressure of B. So that is indicated with P naught B. And here the vapor pressure of A is different with B, P. And here the vapor pressure of A, which is indicated with PA, and vapor pressure of B is indicated with PB. So they are partial pressures. So they are called here as partial vapor pressure. So why it is partial vapor pressure? Because there is a difference between this partial vapor pressure and pure vapor pressure. So pure vapor pressure, that is P naught A. So pure vapor pressure, that is P naught A, which is always greater than PA. That you should understand here. And again, P naught B is always greater than PB. So that I have already told you in the last session. But see here, the P naught A is a pure vapor pressure of A, and P naught B is pure vapor pressure of B. So they are always greater than the partial. So partial, it simply indicates the word partial. They are having very low vapor pressure because the surface of this particular solution, it occupies also with the other molecule. Here only A is there, that is 4 molecules are there. So you will get 4 vapors like this. But here also B is also 4 vapors like this. But what about this? Here only 2 molecules are there on the surface. So the vapor pressure is decreased here. So the decreased vapor pressure, which is called PA and PB. Now the Raoult's law, which indicates that, which is nothing but very simple. So which is the vapor pressure of liquid. So vapor pressure of whatever A or liquid, which is, so we can write, which is directly relation with the mole fraction, so that you should understand that. So if you take PA, if you take PA, which is directly proportional to zeta A. If it is PB, then it is directly relation with the XB, that is zeta B. So this is the Raoult's law. Raoult's law, it is nothing but simply to explain that the vapor pressure is directly relation with the mole fraction. So what is actually this Raoult's law? So let me understand this more easy way. So see here, you have to understood that vapor pressure is directly relation with mole fraction. It means that, so if the mole fraction is very high, then the vapor pressure will also be more high. So that means you should understand here, if A is there, if the concentration of A is there. So let me take the concentration of A. Let us take the mole fraction of A, which is 1. So mole fraction is nothing but the percentage of A. So the percentage of A or concentration of A. So let us take the concentration of A is, let us take 100 moles. So I'm taking 100 moles. So here also I'm taking 100 moles. Whatever may be, this is certain concentration. So if you take the excess concentration of A and B, then the vapor pressure of here, the vapor pressure produced here, PA and PB, so they will also increase. So if you take the mole fraction of particular liquid A and B, then the vapor pressure also increase. సో అంటే ఏం లేదు, ఇప్పుడు ఏలు ఎక్కువ ఉన్నాయి అనుకోండి, ఇక్కడ ఏ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ మాలిక్యూల్స్ ఏలు ఎంత ఎక్కువైనాయి అనుకోండి, ఇక్కడ వేపర్ ప్రెషర్ కూడా అంత ఎక్కువ అవుతుంది. ఇఫ్ ద మోల్ ఫ్రాక్షన్ ఆఫ్ ఏ ఈస్ ఇంక్రీజ్, then the partial vapor pressure of A is also increased. If the mole fraction of B is increased, then the partial vapor pressure is also increased. So that is Raoult's law. So here in this particular solutions, so you have to understood that if you rise the concentration of particular liquid, that is A or B, then definitely the partial vapor pressures are increased. So let us see some relation. So let us take clear relation. So once again I am writing, you see here. So here PA is directly relation with zeta A, that is mole fraction of A. So that means if you increase the mole fraction of A, then the partial vapor pressure will increase. So if you take 4 molecules here, so if you take 100 molecules, then here 100 vapors will produce. That will be whatever may be, here there are 4 molecules are there. Here actually only 2 molecules are there, because the surface will occupied with the other B molecules. So that means that if you take 4, here you will get 2 molecules. So if you take, you can 6, then you will get 3. So if you get 100, you can get 50 molecules. So whatever may be, if you increase the concentration of A, then you can increase the partial vapor pressure of A. Here also, if you increase the B molecules, then you can increase the vapor pressure of B here. So that is PA, which is directly relation with zeta A. If it is PB, it is also directly relation with zeta B. So this is Raoult's law, and this I can use a constant which is PA, which is equal to K into zeta A, and PA, that is equal to K into zeta B. So this is Raoult's law. You should understand that. Raoult's law, it is nothing but if you increase the mole fraction, then the vapor pressure also increases. So let us understand again with the mathematical relations. So see here. So see here. So first I'm taking PA, which is directly relation with zeta A, and again this PA, which is equal to zeta B into, so I will take, so I will take a constant which is K, that is zeta A. So if we take B also, PB, which is directly relation with zeta B, and this PB, which is equal to K into zeta B. So see here. So this is a Raoult's law. So we can calculate the total pressure. So by using this. So see here. So let us take pure vapor pressure. So at pure A, that is P naught A. So P naught A, the concentration of A. So you have to understood the mole fraction here. So at pure A, what is the concentration of XA? So I already told you that XA plus XB then is equal to 1. So always the zeta A, the mole fraction of A, mole fraction of B, that is equal to 1. So you can take, let us take A is 4 moles are there and B is 6 moles are there. Then mole fraction of A is nothing but 4 by 10. So mole fraction of B is nothing but 6 by 10. So simply you have to understood that 4 plus 10, that is 6 plus 10. Both you can get, that is 0.4 and 0.6. So both you will get only 1 here. So mole fraction, always the mole fraction of A and mole fraction of B. So you will get 1 here. So at pure A means only A is there. So only A is there. That means here A is 4, B is 6 means 0.4 is nothing but the 40%. Here 0.6 means 60%. So in a solution, that is 40% of A is there. So here I have taken 40% of A. This is 4 means 40%, 6 means 60%. So at pure A, so at pure A means only A is there. That is 100% A is there. So 100% means 100 by 100, 1 is there. So at pure A, the mole fraction of A, that is 1. Then what is the mole fraction of B? There is no other B. So definitely it is 0. Then it is equal to 1. So you have to understood that at pure A, the mole fraction of A is equal to 1. At pure B, at pure B, then mole fraction of B is equal to 1. So you should understand these things, the mole fraction. So let us take the mole fraction. So I am taking the mole fraction. So see here, at pure A, the mole fraction of A, which is equal to 1, and mole fraction of B, that is equal to 0. So see here, so what happened? So at pure A, so I am taking P naught A. So here in presence of PA, I am writing P naught A, because PA is a partial vapor pressure and P naught A, which is equal to partial vapor. This is a pure vapor pressure and this PA, which is partial vapor pressure. So then A, then K. So I am writing K. And then what is zeta A? Zeta A is equal to 1 because it is a pure A. So then P naught A is equal to K. P naught A is equal to K. So this K value, the value of K, which is equal to P naught A. So this you can substitute in this. You have to substitute in this. So what happens? So you will get. So what happens? You will get. So that is, this is the equation. Let us take it is first equation. What happens when you take this k value as p naught a, then pa, which is equal to, in place of k I'm writing p naught a zeta a. So pa, which is equal to p naught a into zeta a, that is a mole fraction of a. So here in place of a constant k, I'm taking p naught a. If it is pb, if it is p, then also that is p naught b into zeta b. So you will get these things. So this is called our Raoult's law. So this is called our Raoult's law. So Raoult's law, it is nothing but the pressure, the partial pressure, which is equal to generally the mole fraction. So if it is partial vapor pressure of A, which is equal to, which is directly relation with the mole fraction of A. If it is B, that is PB, which is directly relation with zeta B, that is a mole fraction of B. So the Raoult's law, it simply indicates the relation between the pressure and the mole fraction. So you have to understood here that, so when you have taken the partial pressure PA, which is equal to P naught A zeta A. So PB, then you will get the P naught B XB. So according to Dalton's law, so if it is Dalton here, so what is a Dalton law? You know that the Dalton's law is a basic law, which is nothing but the total pressure. So total pressure, which is equal to PA plus PB. So simply nothing but the total pressure of a solution, which is equal to the individual pressures of PA and PB. So what is PA here? So generally here we have calculated that PA, which is equal to P naught A zeta A, and PB, that is equal to P naught B zeta B. So this is according to Raoult's law. So we have to substitute this, that is PT. So that is PA plus PB. So what you will get? So you will get P naught A plus, sorry, P naught A zeta A plus P naught B zeta B. So these things you have to understood that the Raoult's law, it indicates that the total pressure, so total pressure, that is PT, is equal to P naught A zeta A plus P naught B into zeta B. So this is Raoult's law. So according to Raoult's law, you have to know this particular all the formulas. So I will use a diagram so that you can easily understand. So you can easily remember those formulas also. So till now we have seen that. So simply according to Raoult's law, simply pressure is directly relation with mole fraction. So what are the formulas we have taken? That is PA, that is equal to zeta A. So PA is equal to zeta A, or you can write X. So that is zeta A, and you can take PB, that is directly relation with zeta B. So I'm writing PA, which is equal to K into zeta A. So here PA, again I'm writing K into zeta B, and finally I can write PA, which is equal to P naught A zeta A, and if PB, then which is equal to P naught B zeta B, and finally the total pressure PT, which is equal to P naught A zeta A plus P naught B zeta B. So this is Raoult's law. So you have to remember this particular formula, which is Raoult's law. So Raoult's law, which is nothing but the vapor pressure of the total vapor pressure of solution, it can be calculated as P naught A zeta A plus P naught B zeta B. So what is this PT? That is the total vapor pressure. So now you have taken two vessels. So I'm taking two containers, with one is A and one is another one, which is B. So I'm adding these two, you will get the vapor pressure. So you are getting the vapor pressure. So this is, so here the vapor pressures are only for the A. So it is also only B. So here that is P naught A, here P naught B. But here you will get that is PA plus PB. So PA plus PB, that is the total vapor pressure, which is equal to, that is P naught A zeta A plus P naught B zeta B. So how can we calculate the P naught A and P naught B? So they are the pure vapor pressure. So P naught A and P naught B, those are the constant. They are the particular values for each liquid. So every liquid will have certain amount of vapor pressure, certain pure vapor pressure. So this P naught A and P naught B, these are the constant values, and zeta A, zeta B is nothing but the concentration you have taken. If you take the mole fraction, so if you take the mole fraction, if you take 40%, then you will get 0.4. If it is 60%, it is 0.6. So mole fraction, that is the concentration of A and B you have taken. So at a given temperature and pressure, so you must understand that when you are adding A and B, so the concentration of A and concentration of B will decide the vapor pressure of a solution. So here the concentration of A and concentration of B will decide the total vapor pressure of a solution. That can be calculated by using this Raoult's law. So let us take the diagram so you can easily understand that thing also. So let us take the diagram. So this is Raoult's law, the diagram. So diagram is also very, very important. So see here. So it's a very simple diagram, this one. So let us take on this is an x-axis. Here I'm taking the composition. So here on x-axis I'm taking composition or nothing but the concentration, and here I have taken pressure. On y-axis we have taken the pressure. So see here, the pressure is increased like this. So it may be increased like this. So it may be 10, 20, 30, 40. The pressure is increased like this. And here on the right side, that is x-axis. So see here. So on x-axis we have taken xa, which is equal to 1. Here xa is equal to 0. Here xb is equal to 0. xp is equal to 1. So what actually it means? So nothing but here zeta A is equal to nothing but on the left side completely which is related with A, and right side completely related with B. So we have taken two liquids. The one is A and one is B. So we have taken two volatile liquids. So we have taken two volatile liquids. So volatile means the liquid which possess the vapor pressure. So they can easily evaporate. So A and B, both they can easily evaporate. So they will get the vapor pressure. So the vapor pressure of pure A, which is equal to P naught A, and the vapor pressure of B, pure vapor pressure, that is equal to P naught B. And the partial vapor pressure, which is PA, and partial vapor pressure, which is PB. So these two are the partial. They are partial. But this P naught A and P naught B, these are the pure vapor pressure. So you should understand that the left side will be A here. This is completely related to A, and this is completely related to B here. So what happens? So here the zeta A, which is equal to 1, actually it means that. So just now only I told you that zeta A, so zeta A plus zeta B, this is equal to 1 always. Because if A is 40%, if it is 60%, so it definitely it is equal to 100%. That is 40% means 0.4, 0.6, that is equal to 1. So the mole fraction, it is mathematically, it is simply a percentage. So always the value which is equal to 0.4 to 0.6. So definitely whatever it may be, the value always in between the 0 and 1. So if it is 1, means here zeta A is 1 and zeta B is equal to 0. The total definitely it is equal to 1. It means that there is no B, only A is there. That means at this particular point, so I have taken a point here. So a point here on this particular line. So you can take the point here. So zeta A is equal to 1. That means that zeta A is equal to 1 and zeta B is equal to 0. Then the total which is equal to 1. That means that we have taken a solution, we have taken a liquid which is only A. There is no B. B is 0. So concentration of B which is 0 here. But here we have taken A here. See here. So I have taken the P naught A. Here I have already written P naught A. That means pure A is there. So on this particular line, the on y-axis, on the left side, I'm taking the only A. So remember that. Same in the way in the right side. So in the same right side, you can take the zeta B is equal to 1 and xa, that is zeta A, which is equal to 0. That means that only B is there. So on right side, only B is there. Left side, which is only A is there. When you are adding both A and B, so definitely the partial vapor pressure will decreases. So definitely you know that. So first A is there, that is P naught A is there. So P naught A is the pure vapor pressure of A. So when you are adding B, so definitely what happens? The pressure is somewhat decreased. So pressure is somewhat decreased to PA. So P naught A is a pure vapor pressure. PA is a partial vapor pressure. So the vapor pressure is decreased by the addition of B. So when you are adding B, the vapor pressure will decreases. So why? What is the reason actual why it is decreases? Because vapors are only produced by the surface. So the surface will occupies with A and B, other molecules also. So hence the vapor pressure is decreased. So you have to understood that. So here if you take the P naught A, so here this is a vapor pressure of pure A, pure A. And here on the right side, this is the vapor pressure of P naught B. So why the vapor pressure of A, which is greater than comparing with this P naught B? So if you take, let us say it is 10, 20, and let us take it is 30, 40, 50, 60, and 70, whatever may be. So these are the pressure, and it is one of the pressure. And you can see here the P naught A, here the P naught A, which is greater than P naught B. What is the reason? So here the P naught A, which is equal to greater than P naught B, that indicates that there are two solutions. One is A and one is B. And A, which is more volatile, A, which is more volatile than B, So if P naught A is greater than P naught B, that indicates that A is producing more vapors comparing with B. So A is producing more vapors means A, it is more volatile comparing with the B. So you can see here, you can take any simple example. Let us take ether and water. So just I am taking the ether and water example. So ether, that is more volatile. So it can easily produce a vapor. So it can easily evaporate. So here the boiling point generally it is 19 degrees, somewhat like this. So here the boiling point which is 100 degrees. So whenever it reaches to 19 degrees, it can easily evaporate. So ether will form more vapors. So ether will form more vapors comparing with the water molecule. So ether is more volatile comparing with the water molecule. So here that is A, the vapor pressure of A which is higher than B. That means that the A which is more volatile than B. A is producing more vapors comparing with the B. So Raoult's law, it is not only explain about the P naught A is greater than B. You can take B also. You can take the P naught B as excess comparing with the P naught B. So you can take in the you can take the line in this way also. You can take the P naught B like this and P naught A like this. You can take in that way also. So just I am taking an example. If A is more volatile, if A is more volatile, A is more volatile than B. So let us assume that A is more volatile than B. So A is producing more vapor pressure comparing with the B. Hence the vapor pressure of A which is greater than B. So it is a pure vapor pressure. So what happens when you are slowly we are adding A with B or B with A? So what happens? The vapor pressure of A, definitely it will decreases like this. So why it is actually decreasing here? Why it is decreasing here? So see here why it is decreasing here. So here the P naught A, the concentration of A which is 100%. Here one indicates that 100%. So what are the values here? So it is nothing but at 100% A here. Here 100% B is there. So let us take at A which is 100% here. That is 1 here. So here the 90%, because somewhat 10% we are adding the B. So here 90, 10. So here 80% and 20%. So here the 70%, 30% of B, and 60% and 40% of B. Again here 50%, 50%, 40%, 60%, again 30%, 50%. So you can take like this 10%, it is 90%. So here the whatever the upper values you have taken 100, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, they are the percentages. If you take the mole fraction, so if we take the mole fraction, 90% means 0.9, 80% means 0.8, 70% means 0.7. So the values are ranging from 1 to 0 here, which is 0.9. So sorry, 0.9 here, 0.8, 0.7, 0.6, 0.5, 0.4, 0.3, 0.1 like this. So here the mole fraction of A which is decreased from left side to right side. And you can consider the B, if it is 0.9, definitely it is 0.1, because both the mole fraction of A and mole fraction of B, that is equal to 1. If it is 90% A is A, definitely 10% will be B here. Again it is 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6 like this. So it is a mole fraction of B which is increased like this. So you can easily see here the XA which is equal to 1, here which is 0. That indicates that A, the vapor pressure of A which is decreasing here, and the B which is 0, B which is 0 to 1. So B which is 0 to 1 means 0 0.1, 0 0.2, 0 0.3, 0 0.4. That means 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, 0.5. The B concentration will increases here. So see here. So first at A, the concentration of A slowly here. So from left side to right side, what happens? One here the zeta A is equal to 1, zeta is equal to 0. That means if it is 0 0.9, 0 0.8, 0 0.7, 0 0.6, 0 0.5, 0 0.4, 0 0.3, 0 0.2, 0 0.1, 0. So or you can consider in a mathematics like 90%, 80%, 70%, 60%, 50%. So what happens when you go on right side, the concentration of A, the mole fraction is decreased here because the percentage of B is increased here. So here the percentage of A which is increased here. So whatever we have taken the pure vapor pressure at this particular point. So I have taken only A here. So this is A, 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 A. So 100% A is there. So after some time we are adding B. That means the surface of this particular molecule will occupies A. So one of the A molecule will go down and you will get the B molecule like this. A, B, A, A like this. So that means one of this particular molecule will go down and B will occupy the surface of the solution. Hence the vapor pressure is decreased. So vapor pressure will decreases slowly like this. So it will decreases continuously. So decreases continuously like this. So it reaches to 0 here. So according to Raoult's law, simply that PA, which is directly relation with zeta A, if you decrease the concentration, then the partial vapor pressure will also decreases. So you are decreasing the zeta A, that is 0 0.9, 0 0.8, 0 0.7. So definitely the vapor pressure will decreases like this. So PA will decreases so on like this, decreases like this. It reaches to 0 here. So same in the way right side. So in the right side, that is only B is there. Only B is there. Only B is there. Let us take 4 molecule. Again, when you are adding A, so it P naught B, this is P naught B. When you are adding A, so what happens slowly? Again, it is decreases because P naught B also will directly proportional to zeta B according to Raoult's law. So what happens? P naught X B zeta B is equal to 0, 0 here. Here 1 means that is 0 0.1, 0 0.2 here. So it is 0 0.3, 0 0.4, 0 0.5, 0 0.6, 0 0.7, 0 0.9. So it means that which is 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%, 60%. So here on right side, the B concentration is increased. So from left side, so sorry, from the right side. So I have taken at this particular point. So when you go left side, that is here 1 is there. Again the 0 0.9, 0 0.8, 0 0.7, 6. That is the values of zeta B that is decreased from right side. So from right side, the zeta B values are decreasing here. So that zeta B values are decreasing, then the partial vapor pressure of B will also decreases like this. So there also decreases like this. So decreases. It also again reaches to 0 here. So that means this particular line which explains that PB, which is directly relation with zeta B. So because the concentration of B which is decreasing here, so B partial vapor pressure of PB that is also decreasing like this. And this particular line, so whatever this PA line, so this indicates that PA which is directly relation with zeta A. So PA which is directly relation with zeta A. Hence, if you are decreasing the zeta A concentration, so PA which is also decreases like this. Hence, these are curves. So we can write like this: PB which is equal to, here the PB which is directly relation with zeta B. So I have taken the Raoult's law according to, so PB is equal to P naught B zeta B. So this line represents, that is PB which is equal to P naught B zeta B. And this line which represents PA which is equal to P naught A zeta A. And this particular line, this is the total vapor pressure, that is P naught A and P naught B. So when you are adding these two, the pressure that is equal to PA and PB. So this is a Raoult's law. You have to understood all these formulas for this Raoult's law. So once again, I'm telling you that So P is nothing but simply the mole fraction. So if you're taking only A, which is equal to zeta A. If you take the PB, then it is equal to PB, sorry, zeta B. So you can take the constant by removing a constant. So by taking a constant, that is P naught A zeta A. So if it is PB, that is equal to P naught B zeta B. Then the total vapor pressure P is equal to PA plus PB. So that is equal to P naught A zeta A plus P naught B zeta B. So this is the total vapor pressure. So this is the Raoult's law. So you have to understood this Raoult's law. So the total vapor pressure of a solution, it can be, so the total vapor pressure, it can be calculated by using this formula. So it is given by Raoult's. He is a scientist. So the formula, which is the law, which is called the Raoult's law. So now we will understand the ideal solution and non-ideal solution. So we have seen the Raoult's law. So particularly what is Raoult's law, we have seen by using a formula which is, you know that a formula which is, that is PA, which is equal to P naught A zeta A. If it is PB, then which is equal to P naught B zeta B. Then the total vapor pressure, that is PT, is equal to P naught A zeta A plus P naught B zeta B. So this is a Raoult's law. Now we will see what is the relation between that Raoult's law with the ideal solution and non-ideal solution. So let us start with the ideal solution, then we will see the non-ideal solution. So what is ideal solution? So ideal solution is nothing but, so ideal solution, the solution which follows the Raoult's law is called the ideal solution. So let us take a particular, so I will take again the solution. I will take two solutions. So again I'm taking two solutions, one is A and one is B. And this is also a closed solution. This is also a closed container. All those three are the closed containers. So this is A and this is B and this is A and B.